Today we have Philip Randolph with us. I've trained Philip for about 3 to 4 years now, going on maybe 2 to 3 years. Real quick, Philip, I want you to introduce yourself to our audience. Tell them who you are, where you played, how long you played, any accolades, and where you're playing now.
All right. So hi, I'm Philip Randolph. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana. I went to school at the International School of Indiana. Stayed there all 4 years. My senior year, I was blessed to be the number 3 scorer in the state, and at the start of the season, I was the number 1 scorer for about a little over half the season, and then finished at number 3. Now I go to Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology. I'm a guard there. I play basketball, and I'm also studying to be a mechanical engineer at Rose-Hulman. Just a little fact: Rose-Hulman is the number 1 school for engineering in the country. They just won another one this year. They're 26 years in a row now for being the number 1 school in engineering.
26 years.
Yeah, I'm truly blessed. Truly blessed.
No, that's impressive. 26 years is hard.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
people
hard.
coming after you.
Yeah, it's a hard school too. It's a hard school.
Well, this is what I want to talk to you about. Talk to me a little bit about International,
Yeah.
and so it's a fairly young program. It doesn't have a whole lot of history. Very small gym.
Yeah.
How much freedom were you given? Were you put in a box? Were you running sets? What were you doing during your time at International?
Yeah, so International is it's a fairly new school. It's mostly academics, IB curriculum, best in the state, best education in the state. And my 8th grade year, we won our first sectionals ever, as school history for basketball ever. And then my freshman year, I come in, I'm instantly 7th man on the team because my middle school season, I was the best player on the team, and the coaches were having me go to high school practices and practicing with the team and getting ready to come in and be a defining role on the team. So yeah, my freshman year, 7th man, I transitioned into 6th man because we had people that were getting hurt during the season. And then
But you played a pretty big role that freshman, sophomore year.
Yeah, I played a pretty big role. We had some JV games. I'd play in the JV game, but I was mostly just with the varsity team most of the time.
Probably like a 3-2 split or a 3-1 split.
Yeah. And then sectionals came around. I played a pretty big role in that game, and then we lost sectionals, which was pretty devastating. We had a lot of seniors that year. We had people that were coming back. They were looking forward to come back. And then my sophomore year, that coach, that whole staff, all the players left. So it kind of hit me hard. But I went to that. My mom's big in education. My dad's big in education. So I went to that school solely for the education.
Yeah.
And basketball was something that I loved to do, and something that I knew I would be at this school and I'll be at a big role. So I was already used to being in a big role. I was used to being on the varsity team. So when a new coach came around, he had already coached me from AAU. We've seen him around in the AAU teams I played on. So he already knew how I was, and I knew, we both knew that I had his trust to go in and score. That was what that's what I did when I was a freshman, and that's what I was going to do in my sophomore year. So then my sophomore year comes in. We were an okay team. We had only 2 people from the last team, from the sectional team, stayed, but they weren't the best. The other coach that was there, he had recruited all these players from North Central, Avon, Davis, and then they all left because he told them to leave. Which still, that kind of hurts me, and you can tell that it gets to me. But,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the sophomore year, those 2 seniors, they left. After that, again, we didn't win our sectionals. Junior year, same thing. I was number 1 guy, number 1 scorer, and then my junior year, I just wasn't really great. I was scoring, I was doing all these things, but it just wasn't getting at the next level that I wanted to get to.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, same coach, same everything. I still had his trust, and I had a big role. I was used to it. I was used to the role. And then my senior year, I think from my my junior summer to my senior year, it like my work ethic changed where I wanted like, okay, I'm tired of losing first round in sectional. I'm tired of losing to these teams that we play every single year. And I had conversations with my coach. I had conversations with you. Obviously, that's when I started training with you. I just wanted to change it. Like I wanted to change just the situation that I was in.
Yeah.
For basketball. Yeah, and then senior year it just all like rolled around. I was making a lot more baskets. We were winning a lot more games. We had a whole different schedule. I think after conversation with my coach, he also realized like we need to play better teams to play better, to be a better team overall. And then I also started catching like being a leader on the team too. And that helped out too. And then I started getting looked at over the summer and in my senior year. Then I got my offer to play at Rose.
Well, real quick. Let's stay on this real quick because in international though as well. This is what I want people to understand though.
Yeah.
From the sounds of what I heard, you had a pretty big green light from junior senior year.
I had a huge green light.
And something that helped you earn the trust though is the fact that you went off on your own and found your own answers. You had a conversation with the coach. Coach said, hey, I can get you to A, B, but if you want to get to C and D, you need to do your own homework and figure that out on your own.
Yeah.
He seemed open to it.
Yep.
And so because the coach, and this is what I want players to understand though, is just because you have a conversation with the coach doesn't mean you're going to get a green light. You earn the right for the green light by asking good questions, but you also had a solid work ethic coming into the season. Yeah. Would you agree or disagree with that?
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. And my coach, he saw that I had that work ethic, and really, I think my junior year I didn't have as much of the green light as I did in my senior year, just because of the work that I had put in over the summer.
Yeah.
And there were shots over my junior year that I remember my coach saying like, that you shouldn't be taking that shot. You need to be doing this, and this. And then I come into my senior year, and he trusts that I would make those shots. He trusts that I would do the right thing. He saw my leadership. That's a big thing that grew that I had grown from was the leadership, because my junior year I was not a talker. You can ask my teammates. I didn't talk to anyone. I was just all to myself, and I made sure that my teammates were getting better and not just me over my senior year. And I think my coach had saw that, and he let me do a lot more that senior year.
And there's something to be said in coaching, because they say that coaching-led teams will only go so far, but player-led teams go farther than coaching-led teams. And so I'm assuming that stepping into his position, he saw that you were becoming a leader, you were growing, you were trying, so he could either stifle that and say, "Hey, fall in line," or he could pull you aside and say, "Let's go together on this. Let's all get into the same direction and go."
Yeah.
And so it sounded like you got the second one instead of him stifling you. And that's awesome. But what I want people to understand though is like your senior year, you just don't get thrown the keys.
No,
like
not at all.
You have to earn it.
Yeah. And he was a new coach coming in back in my sophomore year, but also building the relationship over those 2 years helped a lot too. Building the relationship of knowing like what he would do in these situations and knowing what I would do in these situations helped us grow together and build our relationship to where I can do things where we can start winning games. That's at the end of the day. That's the end of the goal, is win games.
So this is a twofold question for you, okay? And people think that everything is sunshine and rainbows. You and Coach had a great relationship.
Yeah.
And that's not true. You've worked with me. You and I have a good relationship from on the court to professionally to employer-employee. And still there have been times that you and I have had conflict. You're going to have conflict in every relationship. Tell me about a situation that you, and it doesn't have to be specific, you're not throwing anybody under the bus, but tell me a situation where you and the head coach had conflict, and this is the first part of the question. Tell me where you were wrong, and tell me what you do to fix it, or how did you manage that?
Okay. So yeah, like I said, when we were changing the schedule for my senior year, the schedule that came out, and he said he had talked to me. He said that they were open to have other teams to play. We have open days that we can play. And we were in this tournament the year before, and we weren't in the tournament my senior year, which I was like, because we had played these teams that we never saw before, that were good teams in 1A, 2A range, that we never saw before, and it was good competition to go back and play and see how better we play, how good the team had gotten. And I remember having this conversation with him about like why aren't we in this tournament anymore? And he just wouldn't tell me. And I had thought back then that he would tell me like everything, like he'd tell me what's wrong, what's good, what's all that. And that kind of, I was frustrated with that, with him not saying like why we're not in this tournament or why we're not adding these schools that we should be adding. And I understand like now that I understand like what I've learned from it is that it's his job to make the schedule, the team to schedule all these teams that he knows that will be good competition for the team, where if there's a possibility that we would win, there's all these possibilities, and he's getting paid for it. It's his professional job. And I came in thinking that we were friends and all this stuff, and that wasn't a good part on me. But yeah, I understand that now.
Now, on the flip side, tell me a situation that was good that you did. Not in that situation, just another one, because I want people to understand, hey, you're a player, you messed up. And that's fine that, I mess up as a coach and I mess up as a player too, but like, what was something you did as a player that was really good that got the coach's attention that said, okay, this kid is serious?
Preseason. Our preseason, again, we're a small school, so our preseason wasn't that big. So before preseason, I tried to get the team together to do workouts, to come here to Hoosier Shooting Academy and to shoot around and get shots up. And they liked it. We get into the season, and it was sectional pool. The video to see like where your sectional game.
Oh yeah, the sectional draw.
Sectional draw. I forgot, but and I came up with the idea for them to come here and do a workout and before the sectional draw and just hang out as a team because we never did it. And coach really liked it. He was on board immediately. And then after we came here, and because he never saw a facility at all.
Yeah.
And after he saw a facility, he was like, he came to me and wanted to talk to you about coming up and having the team come in and setting up like all these accounts and stuff for the team. So I don't know if they have or not. I don't know what he's done because I haven't talked to him in a while, but he seemed on board on coming here and looking at the facility and knowing about Hoosier Shooting Academy and trying to meet these players.
But he gave you the green light to at least have a conversation.
Yeah.
All right, so let's fast forward right now. So now we're back in the present.
Yeah.
And this is the part where everything gets tricky. And this is where we get into it.
Yeah.
So you had this green light going into international. You come out, you're a freshman out at Rose-Hulman, and you have that same green light as a freshman that you did as a senior at international. Is that right?
No.
No? Talk to me about that. And again, real quick, just to throw, this is a professional conversation that freshmen in college need to understand, and it's not throwing the coach under the bus. Every freshman in America is going through what you're going through right now.
Yes.
And what I don't want people to hear you say, and this is what I'm really hoping that people take notes on, is not Philip is mad at his coach and this is all the things that he's doing. Philip is growing as a player, and what I hope you guys take from this conversation is the maturity that he has to step back and process that it's not just a bunch of grumbling about the coach. It's you working through your thought process to come at terms with your new role, which is diminished from your senior role.
Yeah.
So talk about that, please.
So I came in like the reason that I was recruited, that he told me I was recruited, is he wanted scores. He wanted someone that was confident, that was big into basketball and all this. And I remember like first practice, we never ran plays in high school. And first practice, after preseason, after we do preseason, we went over these like regular sets that we'd always go into. We started coming up with new plays. And I think one week we went through about 7 or 8 plays. We had 3 regular set plays that we run every single time. But then we came up with 7 new plays and 10 plays in total. And I think 4 out of those 7 times I had messed up so many times. And I came in thinking, oh, I'm just gonna get the ball and score. Like that's all I'm gonna do. And I quickly realized that I have to come in, run the plays the way that the coach wants me to run, and I cannot mess up in that. I cannot mess up the play, because all it is like what I was talking about in high school is that you have to gain the coach's trust. And he told the freshmen like coming in that we were more he didn't tell us, but it was shown, like we can see that the freshmen coming in, was 4 freshmen that came in, we were more confident, we were more basketball trained than some of the other players. But he really he instills into us execution.
Now, putting the switch a little bit, turning the switch, why is execution? So, okay, you decide to break the play, you get an easy layup, and you say, Coach, I broke the play, we should break that play every time. Why is that execution important, do you think, for the coach?
Because of all the work that he puts in before setting up all these plays, setting up all this stuff. Because he does hours and hours and hours of film on all these other teams and all these other sets and motions that all these other teams play on defense, and he sees what shots that we get every single time. And from his experience, obviously, because he was a coach that played in college, D3 college, and he had a great coach. Fun fact, we played his coach yesterday, Wabash. But aside from that, he had a great coach, and that coach played a similar way, and that coach won games. And
yeah.
he knows that these plays are going to win games, and that's what at the end of the day, that's what he wants to do, is win. So he's okay with exploring, but he's not okay with breaking down the play. You just have to know the difference. There's ways, and every coach would be like that. There's going to be any type of offense. There's going to be a certain place where you can explore to look for a shot, but then if that exploration doesn't work out, then you just go back and then you execute the play.
So it's interesting you say that, and this is something I want people to understand, though, and this is what I heard. The coaches want to score. That's the name of the game. If you get an easy 2, take the easy 2. Don't run the play. Take the easy 2. But when you explore and the play ends up breaking down, you at least know where people are.
Yep.
So one thing, if you ever play for me, and I'm obsessed with filling the corners. The corners are filled. And the reason being, though, is if everything breaks down, I don't want you to think. I don't want you to, like, oh, is someone there? You can close your eyes, throw the ball to the corner, you know someone's there. And so when you are exploring with the plays, you can explore the play, but you also know where those exit points are. And if you break the play down, you don't know where those exit points are anymore. And so that's going to gain trust of the coach, but it's also going to gain trust of the teammates of, okay, well, Philip decided to make a move that isn't really in the play, but he's exploring. Now he can kick that ball out and get right back into the play. But dribbling the air out of the ball, going out on Iverson, no knockdown on Iverson, But if you start going, dribbling the air out of the ball, trying to go somewhere, and the rest of the players stand there, and then you kick to the corner, and the guy's like, you broke the play down. So shifting your mindset, and I want you, and I want you to be a little vulnerable for not too vulnerable, but just be honest. Talk about being put in the box. How did you handle it? Were you excited? Were you frustrated? Were you, what was done well? Hey, I felt that this was done well. And then also, again, we're not throwing stones. We're just being honest so people can learn. B, what could have been better, either by you or by the coach, to help put you in that box?
So it didn't even start with a coach putting me in the box. It was the players. We were open gym preseason, and I came in. We were like the 4 freshmen. There was 2 freshmen that were played that had a good high school career, and it was me and another kid from Indianapolis. me, I'm a competitive person. They set up teams, and we have to run in our gym. We have to run the plays that we do in preseason practice. And I was never getting picked first, and I was frustrated about that because I'm whenever we do one-on-ones, whenever we do these like 2-on-2, 3-on-3s type of stuff, like I'm always scoring. I'm always doing what I do best. And then they pick 5-on-5 teams. This is the top senior, the two seniors, the two senior bigs. They pick 5-on-5 teams, and I'm not picked. And I was getting frustrated. I'm like, this other freshman is getting picked over me, and at first I didn't realize like what's going on. And I just want to get picked, but then we did it where it was a game going on one court, and then it's like a 3-on-3 kind of tournament on one other court. And the 3-on-3 is the winners go with the other two bigs because our team is mostly big, so there's two bigs in every team, so there's three guards. Three guards that won the 3-on-3 would come and play with the two bigs that lost. And I always not get picked. I always win the 3-on-3 game, and then we come on, and then I lose, and then I have to keep going back and forth. While on the other hand, the freshman, he's just winning games left and right, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Like I came in thinking I'm the best, and I still think I'm the best, but I came in thinking I'm the best, and I'm not getting picked.
Yeah.
And then we come into the season, and then the coach expects us to run the plays faster and faster and faster, and then that's just when I started messing up, and then I started realizing like, okay, I need more discipline.
Can I dig into that real quick?
Yeah.
And again, just a moment of reflection. Did you realize it, or did somebody tell you? And either way, it's fine. You figured it out. But was it a self-realization that you humbled yourself, or was it a player had to come talk to you and you humbled yourself?
No, I humbled myself. I was self-realization. I humbled myself because then I had called you and I was trying to figure out like, should I go talk to the coach? Should I go talk to the players? What should I do? And then I talked to the coach, and then he just reassures, and then I just figure it out on my own. Like, yeah, I'm just not as disciplined as these other players.
Can we shift gears?
Mm-hmm.
The conversation we had, you and I had, this is something vulnerable that every player needs to understand is you need someone that's going to be kind, honest, and true with you.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't what you wanted to hear.
Oh, yeah.
It was absolutely not what you wanted to hear. But I was kind, as I could be, but I was honest and true.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, and this is something for kids to hear, that you can't always go to the head coach and vent to the head coach. You need to have a good support system. And just luckily for you, I was in your corner in that good, honest support system.
Yeah.
Tell us about that conversation. How did it go? What were you looking for? What was the outcome?
Well, yeah, I called you knowing that you had coach experience and all that, and just basketball experience in general. So I called you to ask you what I should say to my coach to get the answer that I was looking for. And then I remember you were talking to me about it, and then it just ventured off to the open gym, and then the senior, like what I was saying, like these seniors not picking me and not choosing someone else over me, and we were talking about maybe not having to trust the team, or just going and talking to my teammates and trying to understand what they want from me and what I can do for them. And then it went back to talking to the coach and just being genuine and honest and asking him to be honest with me. But yeah, there were some times where what you were telling me, I wasn't really frustrated with, but it kind of hit me, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But that's just who you are.
Me? Nah, never. Never. I tell everybody what they want to hear.
But yeah, it helped. The call really helped, and I think I've done both. I think I've gained more of the trust from the coach, and more trust from my teammates.
And this is something I want people to understand, though, too. Is I think that some people hear coaching and they automatically get excited to go, I get to rip people 24/7. I believe I was able to say those things to you and they were able to get to the core of what you were because I care about you. I had that conversation because I love you. And that conversation wasn't me being excited to rip. I got interviewed the other day, and some guy was talking to me. He goes, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being confident and 0 being incompetent, confident, not incompetent, but not confident at all, how do you feel about talking to players? And I said a 2. And he stopped and goes, you? A 2? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not confident at all. And he goes, how do you do what you do? Like, I'm like, I think it's a sick person that wakes up in the morning and just goes like, yes, I get to rip people. Like, I don't enjoy it. Like, that's not what gets me excited in the morning. I get excited to help people. I get excited to get people their goals. And so when that conversation happened, I think it was interesting because I wasn't excited to rip you. I didn't, but, like it was, I could have easily been like, man, that coach sucks, man. Bye, boom. Man, okay, go on the rest of my day. But, I had to give an honest, genuine, answer to you.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what coaches, if there's any coaches listening, understanding, but also players, being that when a coach says something negative to you, not even negative, just honest, it may not be the thing you want to hear, but what you want to hear and what you need to be hear are probably, one and the same thing.
Yeah.
And so you did a good job of maturely taking that. You very well could have hung up the phone and been like,
yeah,
all right,
I don't want to listen to this.
Paul don't know what he's talking about anymore. Who's going to tell me what I want now?
Yeah.
But you didn't. It sounds like you processed that. So,
yeah,
that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So where are you now? Like, and I'm not talking playing time, but like, in your journey, you still have 3 years of education on the court left for you. Are you excited about it? Are you kind of nervous about like, hey, am I going to get humbled again?
Yeah.
This whole journey is about being comfortable being humbled. Mm-hmm. And so just talk about, where you are now, what you're excited about in the future.
Yeah. So we just got off of a really big win.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And something for the players. College education is really, really hard.
You talking about, you called me one time. You're like, Paul, this thing is hard, and I'm like, yeah. You're at one of the top schools in the Midwest, and you're like, no, I didn't know it was going to be this hard. I'm like, what did you think was going to happen? It's really hard.
I came in not thinking it was going to be that difficult, but it's really difficult trying to keep your GPA eligible for you to play. So yeah. We're going into we do 4-quarter system. Summer is like another quarter, so we're going into our winter quarter and going into more harder classes.
More harder classes. That's the Rose Coleman kids paying off.
Yeah, it's not an English school. It's not an English school. This is a STEM school. But so yeah, it's known. The winter quarter is known as the hardest quarter in Rose Coleman education.
They take pride in that.
So yeah, they take pride in detrimenting a student's mental health. But yeah, my fall quarter was all right, and so aside from school, basketball, it's going good. I'm getting more looks in the second. Right now I'm on the third team. I'm the starter on the third team. But I'm getting more looks on the second team and first team. It's like a starter on most teams in practice. But I haven't really gotten legitimate playing time yet. I come in like 5 minutes to the end of the game or something like that. But I had to keep my grades up first before I can play for these next couple games because of my fall quarter. Yeah, but I'm going into this next quarter. I'm excited. I made sure that I didn't have a lot of classes, so then I can prioritize basketball a little bit more and start studying more film and studying more plays and all of our sets and all of that. And then I'm also prioritizing treatment a lot more too.
Your body?
Yeah, my body, which I didn't really do that in high school. I'd say I did it
a little bit.
But I think again my senior year I saw putting more emphasis into treatment changes your body a lot.
Yeah.
Changes your body a lot.
Now, real quick, and I didn't prepare you for this, just as a heads up. You had a couple other options. You wanted to explore recruiting, and this is something that you and I talked about during your recruitment. And now that you've had a year, you have a year under your belt. What are your thoughts? Because the air is going to go out of the ball, and hopefully you have another 5 to 10 years left of that. Hopefully, you have an illustrious career that you could be proud of. But what is Rose-Hulman and what is your education doing for you so when that ball does go flat, you have a successful mind to fall back on?
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
So Rose-Hulman does these career fairs every year. Not every year, sorry, every quarter. Since they're number one engineering school, there are companies from GM, construction companies, engineering companies like Tesla, Lilly. They all come to these career fairs, and they are looking for Rose-Hulman students. There are lots of companies that said that they have waitlisted people from other engineering schools and brought up, not waitlisted, but put down resumes from other schools and brought up Rose-Hulman kids' resumes because they know that Rose-Hulman prepares students for the engineering world, which is really, really, really great. And they also look for internships. They look for students to be in internships because they want to keep these roles. They want to keep Rose-Hulman kids. So if they can get you in an internship or a co-op, they're going to want to keep you in that at their company for 3-4 years until you graduate, where then they can offer you a legit job. There are 2 seniors from on our team that just got job offers in the fall in October from one of these career fairs and set them up for life.
That's awesome.
They already have 3 contracts that are just waiting for them to sign. Just waiting for them to sign.
All they got to do is get done.
Yeah, all they have to do is just get done with school.
How much pressure does that put on you? I can't say that. How much pressure does it take off of you knowing that you have the potential that, okay, so you get offered a job overseas in Germany and they say, hey, we'll pay you $5,000 a year, and you can say, no, I don't need that. Like,
yeah, it definitely lets off a lot of pressure. It's just that the one thing that I have to worry about is getting through school. That's the one thing that I have to worry about. It's not really, I don't have to worry about, okay, where am I going to work? Because I remember my parents were talking to me about that and when they were in school and them trying to figure out where they're going to work after. And just going to this career fair it's crazy. Like the amount of jobs that want to hire Rose-Hulman students is insane. And just knowing that I will have, if I graduate Rose-Hulman, I will have a job.
When you graduate.
Or when I graduate Rose-Hulman, I will have a job that's just there for me if I want to stop playing basketball, which is great.
And now here's the thing: a lot of people don't understand, though, and I want people to hear this. Is so many people put their eggs in the basketball basket, and if you make $5,000 a year playing somewhere, you have to take it. You don't have the option, and so people need to understand that of you put your education first, which is good, but you're still having an opportunity to play basketball, and there's a good chance you will have an opportunity to play at the next level, whether it's G League, NBA, overseas, somewhere.
Yeah.
You have that opportunity, but you also have the opportunity to say, you know what, my body's starting to fail. I feel my back, my knees, I feel it now, and you're able to step away from the game because you balanced yourself well. Philip, I got one more question for you. You ready for it?
Yeah.
Tomorrow you wake up, you get a phone call that says, hey, you're the commissioner of basketball for the entirety of America. You could pass any rule you want to pass. You could limit AAU. You could tell everyone you have to train 5 times a week. You can everybody has to make 500 shots a week. Anything you want. You could put in a 4-point line. You could put in a 5-point half court. What rule are you making and why? Or what rule are you getting rid of and why?
This is hard. I'd say I'd make a rule of is it anything basketball related, or does it have to be like games?
Whatever.
Okay.
You're gonna say your parents can't coach.
No. I'd say I'd make the rule of being of or it. I mean, it's not really a rule now, but I'd say I'd make a rule of being at game, workout, practice, anything at least 45 minutes early because I come like now here at Rose, they've told us like you have to kind of have this pro mindset, right?
Yeah.
You have to come in, you come in early, come in. It's not even have to. Like this is all optional. And I'm saying that I would want to make this mandatory because I think it's great. I think it's coming in. I think you come in like hour before a game, hour and a half before a game, get your treatment, put up a couple shots, rest a little bit, stretch, and then put on your gear and then go out, shoot around with your team, and be ready for a game.
So you would want everyone to play basketball to understand the pre-practice mindset.
Yeah.
It may not be 45 minutes early,
Yeah.
but you could get there 20 minutes early
Yeah.
and get your mindset before a practice.
Getting there early, because I think if you get to practice like just on time, or like you're trying to hurry up to get to the building, then everything is off. You know, you're kind of rushing a lot. And I guess right now, if you're younger, you don't really realize it, but as you get older, you'll start realizing, I just tried to get to practice just on time, and then coach wants me to do this, coach wants me to do that, coach wants me to do that, but I'm just not ready for it. You're just not ready, you know. And
Yeah.
when you just being prepared, like that's what I've learned so far from my coaches is from college is being prepared is great. If you're not prepared, then the chances of you winning, the chances of you having success is lower. But when you are prepared and you are readily prepared, like he would give us a practice plan 2 days before. We'd go over the practice plan the next day. He'd write it down. He'd send it out to us. We have a piece of paper that we'd study, and then we'd go over the practice plan in the morning. We go in the practice plan right before walkthrough, or right during walkthrough. We go over the practice plan during our warm-ups, and then we go over the practice plan again right before the game. If that's not being prepared, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
So just being prepared and getting the mindset early to be ready, I think that's great.
I heard a quote that a prepared team will beat an unprepared team every single time.
Yeah.
Preparation wins every single time. Philip, I appreciate your time, man. This has been awesome, man. Thank you for sharing with us.
Yeah.
Everybody, so make sure you subscribe. Check us out. We're just trying to give you guys information that you can utilize as a parent, as a coach, as a player, things that can change your mindset. If you're a coach, let your players listen to this. There was a lot of good things Philip said, and I just really want y'all to take it home and process. And just to make sure we're clear and everybody knows this was not a gripe session for Philip. This is him being vulnerable about himself, his journey, so that way when you guys are on your journey and you're playing a college sport, you can understand what's going on. Hoops Overhyped. Check us out. Subscribe. Bye. We're done, man.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. Let me turn it off because Drake is going to edit all these,
Okay.
and I don't want Drake. 40 minutes.